I got married when I was about 40 years old. To be precise, I got married 1 month shy of my 40th. Yes. And I do recognize that I've been blessed because I did get everything I wanted, everything that was most important to me in a life partner. I did get it. And I did get it in the exact package that I like it in. If you know what I mean, right? This is not a brag or anything. I'm recording this as a natural follow-up to the video I did on the blessings in waiting for single ladies over 30. I feel like a lot of people will have this in their mind. So how did you meet your husband? So I decided to do this episode. But more than that, it's because I feel like there are certain lessons to pick from my story, from our love story, that makes it very important for me to tell the story. And like I said in the other video that I did about waiting, I use my story at every opportunity that I get to inspire so many singles out there who are currently in waiting, who are afraid that because of their age now, they're not going to get what they want, or because of their age now, they should settle for less, or sacrifice everything they wanted just to be married. And that is why I started with the way I started this video. I got everything I wanted in the package that I wanted it in. I never sacrificed anything. That doesn't mean that the man I married is perfect. I'm not perfect. But to the best of what I could have gotten, I got it. And usually, if you do things right, the reward is usually worth the wait. I actually made us wear an outfit on our pre-wedding shots that actually said that he is worth the wait. And he is really worth the wait. No wonder they say that a patient dog eats the fattest bone. So, how did I meet my husband? I met my husband in 2014 and we got married June 2021. And no, we were not in a relationship all those years. No. So a mutual friend introduced us. So it's just like a friend who feels like, oh, this guy that I know and this lady that I know, they'll probably do well. They are both singles, they are ready to get married, they are looking to get married. Let me connect them. So they gave me my number and I had his number and we started to chat. And at this time I was 33 years old. 33 years old. Yes, 33 years old. Very mature to get married. Very single and very ready to mingle. Even though I was still struggling financially, that didn't matter. In fact, I dare say that it was because I was struggling financially that was largely contributing to the desperation to get married. Because when you're there, you don't have money, you don't have a man, you don't have anything. Most of your mates are married, having children and all that. You feel like, at least if I not get money, make I get husband. So even though I sincerely was wanting to get married then, the fact that I was struggling financially was part of the reason, because I felt like if I had somebody, then we could at least put resources together. I didn't have the resource yet, but we could hustle together. You get what I mean? So they connected us. We were chatting. The chat was so nice. The chemistry was there from the chat. We decided to meet because my now husband is someone that he doesn't keep things on the phone. His own is that, according to what he said, His own is that let's put a face to it. So if this thing is happening, it's happening. I don't do this phone thing. So we met in person. We met at a public place, and immediately I saw him, I was like, God, oh. I started immediately selling myself short because tall, fine, broad shoulders, everything I wanted, you know. And I was just like, nah, someone like this would not want me. Someone like this would not want me, especially when he started talking. Shy. My husband studied English, and he's not just one of those students that studied English and doesn't know how to, speak good English. My husband studied English and later on studied British English. So that perfect pronunciations is there. That's beautiful. I was just like, God, Carol, error. This one is another one that you've just wasted your time to come and see, that will not take you seriously. Anyway, that was going on in my head. I was fighting those negative thoughts in my head. So we met, we greeted. It seemed like he was happy to see me too. In fact, as the date went on, I was more convinced that the chemistry and the feelings were, reciprocated, because he will see me off and I'm about to take a bus. But then we can't stop talking. So I was like, let me just see you off. This went on at least 3 times, back and forth like that. So the chemistry had to be right. Anyway, so that was a great day. Eventually, I went home. I was excited. I was all in love, or all in my feelings. I was saying not in love, but just infatuated. So heading home, I was happy. I was already picturing the guy. We women, I was already picturing the guy in a wedding suit and how that would look. I'll bring my man. Oh, God. Because how everything went was way beyond anything I could have dreamt of. There's always some anxiety when you're going to meet someone you've never met for the first time. Of course, I knew what it looked like. I'd seen pictures. He has also seen pictures of me, But then going to meet in person can be a totally different ball game. Will the chemistry be right? Will he like me? Will he not like me? That kind of a thing. So when I was heading back home, I was very, very happy. It has gone way beyond anything I could have dreamt of. But then at the same time, the fact that it went so good became a worry to me, because my experiences before now had been that anything that started so intensely for me like this never goes anywhere. It's just something that starts so intensely, and then before you know it, just go down, and I'm left wondering what happened, what's going on. So that was at the back of my mind. Like, oh my God, this went so well. This cannot be real. This only happens in the movies or in a bestseller novel. I cannot just meet a guy this cute, this well put together, and everything goes well and it's mine. Nah, not going to happen. So after that meeting now, all the excitement and all that, our chats kept going on, but it lost a bit of the excitement. When you've not met somebody, he lost a bit of the excitement of, when he wakes up in the morning, he wants to talk to me, the first person he wants to talk to. But now he's like, hey, why didn't you respond to my messages? I sent you messages, so and so. I did that. So that was what it was becoming. And sometimes we'll meet in person and we'll just be talking. I'll realize that this guy is talking to me more like, when somebody is talking to you in a way that, man, no say, I'm not serious, so this is not, I'm not, because officially he has not toasted me. He has not said, let's be in a relationship or anything. I kept waiting that he'll say it, so, but then it was not forthcoming. And when we are talking, it's talking like, when you're talking to a friend, for example, saying, the woman I want to marry, I don't even think I want to marry a Nigerian. I think maybe a South African. I think this, I think that. His talks were just all over the place and it was not connecting for me. So as much as I like the guy, and I really like the guy, I started withdrawing myself. And that is one thing I like about myself. I will tell you that my mama not chase man, I not go chase man. No matter how much I like a guy, if I think for whatever reason it won't work out, or if I see that the feeling is not reciprocated, I start to withdraw myself. You know, that kind of I leave you before you leave me kind of thing. So that was how I naturally just now let the thing fizzled into friendship. And we're great as friends. In fact, eventually we became best friends. This guy, I realized later, I told myself, it was not even right for me, because truth be told, I wasn't in a financial standing where I could get married. And he wasn't even in a financial standing where he could get married. Even though he was older than me, he was like maybe 35 plus, because he's 2 years plus older than me. And I'm like 33 at this point when we met. You know, we were both not in that financial standing to get married. My husband was squatting with, even though he was working, he was squatting with some family members, this big house they had where, you know, he stayed. So he was squatting. I was living in a 1-room apartment where I didn't have my own toilet. You know, I was sharing a toilet. So the whole thing fizzled into friendship, and I kept on with my hustle, and himself kept on with his hustle. But every now and then he'll visit me, I will make food, we eat together. So food became our thing that connected us. Sometimes if there was this, you know, mama puts that will go to my area and we'll go and eat. And sometimes he could come all the way from where he lived. I was living in Surulere. He was living in Coconut then, for those who know that area, in Lagos. So he will come all the way from that side just to come and eat at that mama put. And we'll go to that mama put and we'll eat, we'll gist, we'll laugh, we'll go. You know, sometimes we'll not talk for a while, and then we'll call each other. It will be as if no time had gone by. We'll gist and gist. So this went on, and I kept chasing my thing. He kept chasing his thing. So, you know, like that. Eventually, things started looking up for me. I moved from where I was to a better place. And himself, it was as if things were happening for us at the same time. Himself moved from where he was to a better place. So, yeah. We're all doing well. We're keeping in touch every now and then. We were not always in each other's lives, but when we connected, it was as if no day had gone by. You know, he was my special person. Even when I'll be in some relationships, I'll talk about him. So he was my special person. Eventually, I got to find out I was his special person. So one day, he came to visit me. He said he was coming to visit me. I said, okay, come now. And guess what? Bros showed up in a car. I'm like, why did you buy a car? I was almost upset, because I'm of this mindset that if money touch your hand, if you're somebody that is just making it in life and you get some money, don't rush and go and buy a car. So I was like his wife that started scolding him that money just touch your hand now, you just go buy a car, this and that. So he started convincing me of how he needs the car for his work, blah, 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 blah. You know, this guy is fine. But then, now he was starting to look more attractive. You know, when you are getting successful, and this guy that you've always liked for years is getting successful as well, every now and then you can't help but think, oh, more if we come together like this. You get, so he was looking more attractive as a bachelor now. He was still not married. I wasn't aware he was in any serious relationship. When we talk about relationship, he seemed to make efforts, because now he was not ready to get married. All those talk he was talking since, he was married South Africa and all that. It is because he was not ready. When a man is talking like that, he's really not ready. When he's ready, he will prioritize what he wants in a relationship. So, Bros was single, so I was single. So, Bros would try a relationship. Me, from my own side, was trying to meet someone. I would meet someone, it would not work out. People at this point trying to take advantage, you know, pretend they like you, pretend they are interested in something serious, whereas they are just coming to eat at your place and maybe to ask you to borrow them some money and all that. I was quick to fish that out, and I'd rather be alone than have somebody using me, you get. So like that, we're both trying different relationships. It was not working, and you would wonder, why did we not ever, you know, want to get together? There were issues. Now we've talked about it, because there were different occasions where my now husband, when I visit him, he will sit me down and be like, what would it take for you to be a wife material? God. He was thinking he was giving me some kind of sign, and I was seeing it as very insulting. Like, what do you mean? So I'm not good enough. I'm like, my guy, carry yourself, they go, Jerry. Who even wants to marry you? Like, you are too serious. You are too. I'm talking to you is like I'm talking to my father. That was the vibe, you know. I feel like he had then, because when you're having conversations with him, then yeah, the way he's advising you, or the way he's talking to you about one attitude problem you have. If he's like a father, I'm like, that's all the kind of relationship I want. I beg. You know, I want somebody I could play with. We could talk as pals. You get. So me, I just saw him differently. That this guy is doing too much. So me, I was not interested in. I really removed all my mind from that part of it, you know. But every now and then, once a while, we'll talk like this, and I'll be like, maybe I'm asking him, so what is keeping you now? Because at this point, I feel like he was fully ready. And he was really ready, because he would say he's looking for someone. I never see better person. Or women not good these days. They don't want to put head down. You get? I'll just be like, maybe you are the problem. When you try one person, you try the second one, it's not working out. Maybe you are the problem. I will say that. And sometimes I will just blot out on the phone. I'm like, we've been friends for so many years and we vibe. Maybe we should just get married. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? In fact, as I'm saying it, right there and then, it would be like, are you serious? And I'll be like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen? And the next minute, I'm like, nah, it ain't going to work. In fact, we're not going to last 24 hours. We don't. And we'll move on from that and start talking about other things. That happened a few times. You know, so you're like that, so going like that. I will call him, I will tell him about my life, what's going on. Not everything, but I used to confide in him a lot, and he would give me good advice. He had things he didn't like about some of the ways that I carry on, but he would just advise. If you not take, no problem. And he will tell you, this is why I cannot marry you, you know. I mean, as a friend, no problem. But if I was your guy, I won't take this, I won't take that. Me, I'll just be like, not take now, they go. Anyway, to cut the long story short, it was during the end sax, right? We're going somewhere. We're in the car going somewhere. And there was this roadblock. And we were there for, I think, maybe more than an hour. We were just sitting in the car. We had to start talking about something. And talk led to talk and talk led to talk. And we find ourselves talking about, why are we not even together? So, like, what's really the main thing? Because at this point, keep in mind, it tells me about some of the relationship he's been in and the issues they are having, and I'll just be like, but me, I know even they behave like that, and you say you not fit date me, like in my mind, right? So on this day, we found ourselves in the car, and we're like, why are we not really together? We've not really even tried. And say, okay, we tried, it didn't work. We just they use mouth to talk and say, you not go work. This your attitude, you not go work. Me, I'm like, no, I not like this about you. I not like this about you. Not go work. So because we had a lot of time on our hands, and there was AC in the car, everywhere was chilled, cozy. You know, maybe now I make the matter. The matter was entering head, connecting well. Anyway, he started bringing up the issues he had with me. I started bringing up the issues I have with him, that would, as much as I like him and he's the best person in the world to me, he's my favorite person, I will not. We started realizing that some of these impressions that we have, even though we've been friends for a very long time, some of them are misguided. It's just like you hold on to an opinion, but this person is not telling you, no, I can compromise now. It's just that I would prefer things like, I can compromise. I mean, I know this, I know that, everybody is not the same. Just like something like that, and you're like, oh, really? I didn't know that. That was it. We talked and talked and talked, and eventually we went our separate ways that day, and we decided that we're going to try and cut. We're going to try and have a courtship. And that was it. The first day of the courtship, Mr. Ma ran away. I said something, I think, and it was like, this is why I said that it will not work. It will not, because me, you know, when you've been independent for a long time, there's a certain kind of arrogance you could have, you know, talking with men. Your own is that, you know, I can be on my own. I'm my own person. You're not going to tell me this and you're not going to tell me that. So there was a way I spoke with him that first day of courtship that he was just like, nah, this is not going to work. So I called him. I was like, so I've not heard from you. You've been kind of quiet. And I realized what the problem was. At this point, I was like, what, 39? I was 39 years old. Remember, we met when I was 33 and he was like 41. Anyway, so I was just like, so now like this, you want to marry Abi? So any small wahala, you will run and you think you are ready for marriage. You are not ready. As I was saying that, he was entering his head like, oh, that's true. I said, things happen, you talk about it. Why would you just run like that? You know, things take time. It takes time for one to adjust. You know, if you are used to a certain way of life. And the only person, honestly, I could adjust for, now this man. Maybe it was just because we've been in each other's lives forever. You know, we were friends when I was in that one-room apartment. You know, this guy will come and visit me, pass toilets. You need to pass toilets. It's disgusting. You need to pass toilets before you get to my own room. Like, pass back of toilets. My room, day back up. And he will come, I will sit, we'll laugh, and he will go. You know, he was just right. He was the only person I could really calm down for. And we went ahead and courted for 9 months. And when we had that conversation was in October 2020, when we decided to cut. And we got married, did our traditional marriage May 2021. We signed our legal papers June 11. We had the wedding celebration June 12th. And it was beautiful. It was very beautiful. And everything, every pain I had gone through, every ridicule I had gone through, every mockery I had gone through became worth it. Oh my God. Became worth it. God. I was ridiculed. I was mocked. Either somebody is insulting me with, oh, you are single, you're not going to see us by marriage, this, that. Or somebody is insulting me with, oh, you won't have a child. Somebody is like swearing for me. Because of what? This society, because of what? But on that day, everything was worth it. And the wedding was beautiful. We danced to 2 songs. I lip-synced for my husband to a very beautiful song. I wish I can play the music here, but it's one song by Fezino, one Delta song like that. It's a mix of Isoko and English, and it just fits into our story. My husband plays the guitar, so he played for me at the wedding. It was a fairy tale. I could not have dreamt about something like that. I could not have believed that would be my wedding. And it was my wedding. And everything was beautiful. So if you are waiting, if you have a friend waiting, if you have a sister waiting, please send this to them. Encourage them. that you don't have to settle for less. You are better remaining single than rushing to marry one man that they rejected and marry the man because you just want to be Mrs. And then now live in frustration because now you will be living like a single person, but worse, you will carry his own responsibility and add to yours, or his own abuse and add to yours, daily abuse that will be raining on you and add to yours. And if your fear is that, oh, what if I can't have children? I am a mom of one. I got pregnant when I was 40. I had my child when I was 41, naturally. And there are a lot of people who be married for 10, 15, 20 years. They don't have a child. What am I trying to tell you? I'm trying to tell you that some of these things are not in your hands. Don't pretend that they are. They are not in your hands to determine. You could marry at 15 and not have a child and not be able to conceive. There are a lot of people married on time who married at 23, 25. They don't have a child. So it's not in your hands. If you go born, you go born. I do believe that the reason my husband and we were friends for so many years and there's no issue, no, it was because I didn't force things. When I saw that it wasn't vibing to what I wanted when we just met, I made the decision very quickly. And I think I made the decision within a week or two. I'm like, nah, this guy is not for me. Carol, just remove I. Not be your own, be that. Do not force a man to be with you. Do not try to force a man's hand. And all those years we were friends, I never for once when I visit him, I don't look at his phone. Who you make I see? Who you they make I see? Who you they talk to? All those guests now you they talk to. It's not my business. I just greet him, we just vibe, we cook, we eat, I leave. Oh, I'm in your area. Stop by now. Stop by. It's been a while. We'll all get out. It's good to see you, like that. So I didn't try to blur the line of what we were. I didn't try to force things. Things just happened naturally for us. And I think that was also why my husband kept me at a certain, because would you believe that one time I asked this man, I said, don't you have any friend? You know, one of those times we were talking about, you know, finding someone and all that. And I was like, now wow, don't you have any friends you can introduce to me? That was how cool I was with being his friend. My husband was like, are you serious? You want me to introduce you to somebody? I'm like, I don't find it weird. I was like, are you serious? You don't find it weird? You want me to? So it was, that man, it was this situation where he knew, oh, this woman is very special to me. But he wasn't committing to the woman. Every now and then I always tease him with it that, you always knew. You know, you always knew in your mind that now me be the one, but you just did. So don't force relationship to happen. That thing you are looking for, you know, will still happen. If you are forcing someone to be with you, they will still not be with you. You will simply just force them to become secretive around you because they don't want to hurt your feelings here. If you are friends with somebody and that's what it is and they don't want to commit, either let them go completely, wipe them off, like you are not in my life if you know you cannot cope with being friends with them, or keep it pure friendship. If it will happen, they said if you love a bird, let the bird fly away. If it's meant for you, it will come back. That's how I see the story of my husband and I. And finally, one lesson I would like to bring out is that always be honest with yourself. If you know that there are certain characters you need to change that makes you a bit unattractive to be with, work on it. Mine was patience and tolerance. Like my tolerance level was so zero. And there was a time I was also unrealistic about what marriage is about. And I had to work on those things. So waiting could be such a pain, but if you do things right, it could also be very rewarding. And there is no age too big, too gone. You are not too old to get your fairy tale. You are not too old. The truth is that it's not everybody that would find someone. It's not everybody that will find a mate. That's the truth about life. Unfortunately, that's life. Everybody have their challenges, you know, in life. And that's just, I guess, a burden in life to carry. Even though it might not work out for everybody. have that faith. Do not give up the hope that you can still find true love. You can still find the man for you, and you can still have your fairy tale ending. You know, there's no competition. We are all not running anywhere. We are not rushing anywhere. There's no competition. You fair married, you fair born, and so what it concern me? You get, we all have our lives to live. So I'll leave it at that for this video. I hope you found it encouraging. I hope it made you smile. I hope it made you, you know, think a little. And also, I hope it comforts you. If you are someone in waiting, please do subscribe to this channel. I would like to have you here, please. Okay, all right then, until the next one, bye.